What's up, guys? Classy Metal here. It is Black Friday, so I wanted to kind of incorporate that into the channel with a special Forsaken Fridays video. I was running through some ideas in my head of how I wanted to handle Black Friday as far as on the channel, what kind of special Forsaken Fridays I wanted to do. I kind of ran through some ideas like Black Metal Friday and all that, but I decided to go with highlighting four albums that were recently released by Black Line Records. So at least here on this channel, it is Black Line Records Friday. I've got four releases. There's two full lengths and two EPs. Well, one's considered an it's labeled an EP, but it's 36 minutes. But we'll get into that one a little bit later. Awesome killer stuff that I picked up pretty recently. Also, they have a sale going, I believe, today and tomorrow on Blackline Records. I think it's like 55% off. I will link up their socials and their Bandcamp and stuff in the description. That way you can check it out. If you see some of this stuff and you want to get in on that sale yourself. They also, if you don't, Blackline Records is a label that is located in Sweden. If you're leery on international shipping, I personally have never had any problems receiving items from them. But if you're here in the States and you don't like ordering internationally, their stuff is available on Season of Mist, and I believe they have stuff available in on Indie Merch as well. So just put that out there for you guys. The four that I'm going to show, I'm just going to jump into this and show you these releases. The first one came out back in June. It is the fourth full length from Black Therapy entitled Onward. Black Therapy is a melodic death metal project out of Italy. I was originally introduced to this band back in 2019 on their third full length entitled Echoes of Dying Memories. That was a fantastic mellow death release. It definitely opened my eyes to this band and wanted to make me hear more of their material. If I had never heard this band before, that artwork on that cover would have drawn me in and made me want to check this out just based on that artwork. That will kind of be a theme through the four releases that I show today as well, because they all four have astounding artworks. On this album, the production is just crystal clear. That was also the case in their 2019 release. They found a good place production wise, and they kind of stuck with it, and I'm glad they did because I love the production on 2019, and it feels like it just picked up right where they left off on that album. This is 9 tracks, about 48 minutes. It's kind of meat and potatoes Melodeath. When you think Melodeath, this is for me personally. This is what I kind of think in my mind when I hear the term Melodeath. They have some influences tagged. Winter Sun is an influence. Dark Tranquility, and there was one other Arch Enemy. I can hear all three of those uh, of those particular influences going on in this album. Also, hear some In Flames. There's a track on here actually called "A Quiet Place." I believe there was an In Flames track uh, with a very similar name that kind of got some flack, and I kind of get that feel on that track from that. It doesn't feel like. Don't get me wrong. It's not like a In Flames ripoff. I just kind of get the same feeling from that track. I really like it. It's a very melodic track. They have some guest session vocals coming in, some female vocals, and I really dig what they did there. They kind of uh, changed up the pace of the album on that last track and kind of threw you for a loop. But it was something I really enjoyed. They throw in. They have the guttural vocals, the growls going on through the almost the majority of this. They sprinkle in some cleans here and there as well for good measure, but it absolutely works. The session vocalists and then the cleans that they sprinkle in, they use them sparingly. They don't overdo it, and it works pretty flawlessly with this album. I definitely want to spend some more time with it, but I've enjoyed everything that I've heard off of it so far. Next up, this is going to be a dark horse for me on my album of the year video coming up either end of December or January. Obviously, this release just came out, so I'm going to want to spend some more time with it. I don't want to be premature and say, hey, this is going to be way up there on my album of the year list, but it definitely has that potential just from what I've heard from it so far. It is absolutely outstanding. This is Sarcator with Alkahest. This is the second full length from this Swedish black and thrash project. Um, their name, Sarcator, uh, it is a it was it was kind of a fusion of two of their influences. You've got Sarcophago, I believe I pronounced that correctly, out of Brazil, black and thrash, death metal, and you kind of get that feel comes heavy in this, and obviously Creator. I mean that it's like they fused those two band names together to make their own band name, and they wear their influences on their sleeve. They definitely do. I would never have guessed that this was a band out of Sweden just from the sound. Sometimes you can hear a project and kind of pinpoint their geographical region just just based on their sound alone. They bring in some of that kind of South American flair going on, I guess, with Sarcophago being such a big influence on them. You kind of get that South American vibe going on, but you have that like European German thrashy vibe going on this as well. It's very interesting the soundscapes that they are able to bring together with this. Now I have to say the vocalist on this has some killer pipes on him, and he's only 17. I was kind of looking into this band; they're all really young, but the fact that the vocalist is able to um, the delivery and the projection of his vocals that he's able to put out there being 17. I mean, this dude's done sold his soul. I mean, there's no other explanation for that. It is ungodly. The the vocals on this, the artwork. I think the artwork is very underappreciated. I mean, I've just kind of found myself a couple times just sitting here taking it all in, and it works pretty well with the album itself. Just being able to sit here and listen to this and look at the artwork, it all kind of just comes together. I wanted to pick out a track for you guys to check out, but it's very hard to pick out one standout track. There is so much good stuff going on here. If you like pull up the Bandcamp page and kind of read what other people are saying about this release, it has an option if you write like a little mini review or what you feel about a release to pick out your favorite track. And I think every one that I read as I was getting ready to do this and kind of doing my prep work had a different track picked out because there are so many that could just be the standout track. A couple of them that just pop in my mind is track number 3, Grave Maggot Future. That one is a stellar track. Track number 6, he who comes from the dark, and then track number 7, Devil Son. Those are 3 very standout tracks. But honestly, I think I could pick out anything on this album, have you listen to it, and I think a lot of you guys are going to enjoy that as well. If you're into Sarcophago, if you're into Creator, there's some other stuff, some other influences going on this. There's even like some early Metallica vibes going on. I mean, with them being thrash metal, that's gonna be a pretty much a given. But just the fact that they can put this together and just at the age that these guys all are is mind blowing. And that vocalist, man, it's just it's uncanny. Next up, you know, before I get into the next two releases, I want to speak on Black Line Records a little bit. In my mind, I always consider Black Line Records for some reason or another. It just like the association that I put together in my mind is melodic black metal, and for some reason that's just what I expect from this label, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, they do have that on their label, but they're a very eclectic label. They have bands from all over the world, and they have all different styles of music. As I was getting this together, I was like, man, there's not even any straight black metal in this. I mean, you have the black and thrash, you have black and feels going on, but there's no melodic black metal at all. And I just got to thinking how wrong sometimes our preconceptions can be. Just thinking about that, it's just the variety that I'm finding in this material is something to keep me interested. Like I could go through their catalog no matter what kind of mood or what I'm looking for, and find something that's going to kind of scratch that itch that I'm having just for that kind of particular listen that I'm wanting that day. So just a little plug there for Black Line Records. Next up, we have a band out of here in the States. As I was saying, they have artists and projects from all over the globe on their label. This is a blackened Okay, is blackened old school death metal a thing? Because if it's not, it is now. This is a band out of Louisiana. This is Faustian with their debut EP, self-titled debut EP. This is only 12 minutes long. There's a 2-minute instrumental intro that opens it up. So you've got 3 tracks that run time about roughly 10 minutes on those 3 tracks. But it is just a blackened groovy slap in the face, and I do love this. James Witten from I Hate God and High on Fire did the mixing and mastering on this, and he does a if he's lending his hand on something, you know you're in for something good. Look at that artwork. I mean, you kind of get a feel. This is just another album that the artwork matches perfectly with what you're getting into music wise, and I've never really just thought like a blackened like having something that was black and old school death, but that's definitely the feel that I get from this. So definitely check this one out. I know a lot of you guys are getting strongly or have been into strongly into death metal within the last few years, and I think this will fit right into that kind of niche, uh, uh, just sweet spot that you guys are listening to. I'm always up for finding new black and death metal. I've been enjoying old school death metal as well, so this is just a killer release in my book. 10 minutes worth of actual, I guess 12 minutes worth of music. And it did the job that an EP is supposed to do, because I definitely am looking forward to hearing where this band goes from that EP, and I want to hear some more stuff. There's also 3 members in this band. There's been a lot of talk, kind of power trios and that type stuff as of late, and this band could definitely fit in that bill. Last one that I'm going to show. This one is labeled as an EP, but it is 36 minutes long. Now, it is only 3 tracks because it is a Funeral Doom project. So, by Funeral Doom standards, I mean, I guess we can give them a little leeway and let this be an EP, because a lot of Funeral Doom albums, go well past the hour mark. So, I'm probably going to butcher the band name, so I do apologize for that. This is Angmodnes. Yeah, maybe you can make that out just reading it. Ang, I'm going to try it one more time. Angmodnes. Yeah, with their debut entitled "The Weight of Eternity." As I said, this is 36 minutes long. It's based out over those 3 tracks. It's kind of a concept album. This is a release, kind of a side project release that members of I think a Death Doom band kind of put together, and they realized some of the stuff that they were putting together over the time period of their other band was kind of leaning more into um, Funeral Doom territory than the direction they wanted to go with the other band, and they kind of expanded on it. But they've been working on this particular release for almost a decade. I think they started in like 2013, and you can tell that there was a lot of time and precision put into this. It's just meticulously kind of structured, and it tells a story. The Weight of Eternity is a good album or EP title for this, just because you kind of get the feel from this release that um, it's kind of like being able to live forever, but you're the only thing that is. You watch everything that you ever loved. You watch everything that you like die and wither and disappear, and then you're just left alone. And you get that. It's got that heaviness, that weight, that oppressive feeling going on. Also, it has the melodies. That they are very good at tying in like these melodic, melancholy passages. They have a few like of the I almost get like an Agalloch feel going on sometimes through some parts of this. There's track number 2, Hollow Earth. That was one that I kind of got that a little bit of like an Agalloch feel going on, and it was definitely welcomed. I enjoyed kind of the mix up. It's like you have this atmospheric, almost doomy death periods going on that kind of bleed into funeral doom metal, and it's absolutely fantastic. This one is another one. This kind of rivals the thrash metal release, believe it or not, as probably my favorite of the bunch. But it's great. You just kind of get this mournful, slow, melodic passages that meet, and then they're abruptly meet like this just aggressive, hate filled, like the death metal kind of bleeds itself into the music, and it's just like this feel of hopelessness and anger, just because you know that there's nothing left, and it's great. So I hope, I mean, as great as that could be anyway. But musically, this is fantastic. So definitely check this one out. I know some of you will enjoy that one as well. That's all I've got for today. All of these will be linked up in the description, as well as any links that I can find for Black Line Records. Definitely check out their socials if you're interested in this, because they do have that sale going for the next couple days. And that's all I've got for today. I will see you guys on Sunday. Hopefully, I will get another one of those CD collection videos knocked out this Sunday. But that's all I've got for today. Stay classy, stay metal, take care of yourselves, and I will see you guys very soon, I promise.